Guys, some people have said that the GNU will collapse. It appears like the GNU is collapsing. Like it or not, the GNU is collapsing, right? But the good news are, look, it has been confirmed. I did a video where I spoke about this guy, Usihle Zigalala, that they wanted to bring back a comrade that that left the ANC. Now, furthermore, Paul Mashatile has said that they will be talking to parties that are not in the GNU. And you all know who is not in the GNU. MK Party is not in the GNU. EFF is not in the GNU, right? They describe the relationship with EDA as a relationship that is not stable. It is from EANC itself, right? It is from Paul Mashatile that says this relationship is not stable. We don't want this relationship, right? So we will talk more about that. So it is interesting then. Let me read this for you, right? Paul Mashatile describing ETA. Deputy President Paul Mashatile compared the DA to crocodile in an analogy he made. Listen to this. A very interesting one, right? We know a crocodile can bite you. That's what some of us, when we are accused that we don't want the GNU or we didn't want the DA from the GNU. So they write in newspapers, no, I am dealing with a crocodile. The DA is a crocodile. A crocodile will never be your friend. That's the teaching of Krizan. Oh my God, a crocodile will never be your friend. Guess who's the crocodile in this analogy? DA is your crocodile. So you've got another fiction of the ANC that says, no. The DA, look, I'm going to make you listen to Ufigile Mbalula, but listen to this man who says that, no, we want to bring these other people back into the block, into the GNU. The political parties that are not in the GNU, which is the EFF and the MK party, we want to bring them into the GNU, right? That is what the Deputy President is saying here.
The government of national unity has had a lot of challenges in the past, but those did not lead to its collapse. And the reason being that we continue and we will continue to consider the GNU as an agreement not between two parties. It's not the agreement of the ANC and the DA. It's an agreement of 10 parties. And we want to make sure that when we deal with issues in the GNU, we deal with these issues as all parties, all of us, working together, prioritizing the challenges that the people of South Africa are facing, not our narrow political interests. We need to understand that we have reached agreements and we must respect those agreements. Now, the leadership of the ANC, after what has happened recently, decided that we are going to reconfigure the alliance. We are going to reconfigure that alliance and we are going to reconfigure the GNU to ensure that we bring other parties on board to work with us, but also to ensure that we discuss this properly with all the parties. We will discuss Comrade Tulas also with the alliance. Angeke sinishiye move. Ndiyazi awuyifuni le GNU.
Okay, so let's proceed. Now the GNU has had its challenges since its inception, but that did not lead to collapse. Paul Mashatile. The reason why it will continue it is because it is not an agreement between merely two parties, the ANC and the DA. It is as it isn't the case in many other countries, but rather an agreement among 10 political parties working towards the same objectives and priorities, right? He says in an right. we all know that as of us speaking right now, the ANC wants Action SA to join the GNU, and we know from the mouth of Fikile Mbalula, he said that Action SA has made it clear that if there is no scrapping of the VAT, they will not join the GNU. They've made it clear there. So we know that the ANC have already identified this thing to say the relationship that we have between us and the DA is not working. They don't support the NHI. They don't support the Expropriation Act. They don't support, I forgot the other bill. They didn't support the budget too. They even gone as far as now counteracting our work in America. So there is no profitability in the relationship that they have with the DA, right? So, but yeah, you kind of feel like Abu Fikile and Mbalula, they've got a bit of hope when you talk about a DA, as opposed to the likes of who's this guy? As opposed to the likes of Paul Mashatile. Abu Fikile and Mbalula have some sort of hope. I don't know where they are getting this hope, or maybe they are still into the idea that what it will be. You know, when you are still into the idea of what it could have been, we say this to people who are still in the relationship, who still hanging on in the idea of what the relationship could be, even though the relationship itself is not working, but they are still they are still in love with what the relationship could be. Maybe Fikile Mbalula is still in love with the idea of what the GNU and working with DA could be, but it's actually, in reality, it's not working, and we all know that, and even a child can see that. But Mbalula, speaking about it, he said this: "We are not a socialist party, neither are we a capitalist party. We are advancing mixed economy. Study the ANC properly to understand. That's why people have failed, even the group of 8, because they wanted to transform the ANC and make it a socialist party, and we expelled them. This notion that the ANC must change overnight and become a socialist party, it's incorrect. It's a reductionist, it's a distortion of the African National Congress. People who want to become socialist and communist, they've got a party, Vanguard, which is now going to contest elections, called the South African Communist Party. They must join it, legally so, not underground, and fight for socialism distinctly." So now, the question remains unanswered, and the question is, will the MK party compromise its position and say, okay, it's fine, we are joining the GNU with or without Ramaphosa being at the helm of the GNU? Because you must remember that in the beginning of everything, MK party has made it clear that for us to even join the GNU, remove Ramaphosa as the president, then we'll join the GNU. You will remember those were their stand back then. But like they say, but people are entitled to change their opinion as they grow and accumulate wisdom. Maybe the question then, to rephrase the question, will be, we can ask the question this way: has things and circumstances convinced the MK party that they can thrive even if they were to go into the GNU while the president remain Ramaphosa? Has they been convinced? I don't know by who, but I don't know by what. I don't know, but has anything convinced them now to somehow feel the need to join the GNU? And I'm saying this because they are wanted by the GNU, but the president is Ramaphosa, and it doesn't look like Ramaphosa will step down anytime soon. It doesn't look like. EFF, on the other hand, have said, no, we, the EFF, what was their conditions to join the GNU? Oh, remove DA, remove FF+, we're joining. But if the GNU has these two parties, forget about us. So you've got MK Party that said no Ramaphosa, and then you have EFF says no FDA and FF plus. But the ANC is in a position where it needs these political parties. You must also remember, it was said back then that you guys were making a mistake to work with the DA. And ANC thought they were smart, right? They dismissed everything, like they always do. They dismissed everything, saying that there's no such, the relationship will work. I've just mentioned things that it looks like all the things, like most of the things that people doesn't agree. IFP, they're even better because they defend the GNU. PA, they're even better because they defend the GNU. But ETA, no, they don't do so. Even the Minister of Copter, Shabisa from the IFP, has said that DA has got has got the mandate to defend the GNU, not to act as an opposition inside the GNU, because they are not an opposition inside the GNU. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So with that being said, I don't know whether we are seeing the end of the GNU, the end of Ramaphosa as well. I just don't know. I'm worried about Ramaphosa himself, and I'm like, Mr. Ramaphosa, I don't know, where you're going to be, because it doesn't look like there's any future. You understand? It doesn't look like there's any future. The future looks a bit dim. That's not me, right? See you guys on the next episode. But until then, please take care.